Anheuser-Busch desperately wants to minimize and downplay the catastrophic effects of partnering with Dylan Mulvaney all of those months ago. But everybody who's tuned into this situation, taking a look at it, seeing what they can learn from it, can cut through all of that BS. No, it isn't just a US thing. No, it isn't one of those passing fads. This is what's going on in society right now. People are finally emboldened thanks to the boycott breakthrough of Bud Light. A lot of other places and a lot of other companies are taking note of that. Made mention of this, I think, last week at some point in time about the American companies. I think it was Heineken. Yes, it was. It was Heineken CEO who said, hey, there's a lot to learn from that stuff, and we're just going to go ahead and keep politics out of our business, and hey, take a look at our record profits. And now you're seeing stuff across the pond going, all right, I see what's going on with that Bud Light. We ain't going to be doing none of that over here. Fearing a repeat of Bud Light, UK government tells business leaders to stay away from politics and woke culture wars. Exactly, because there's nothing to be gained. You wade into that stuff, but we know the company's only going one direction on that, and I don't even know, like, what's the way that most conservatives have conceded so much ground? What would even be the way to enter it on a unabashedly conservative side? If you were to take a look at what you would do if you were just going to be a leftist, okay, you would just drape everything in progressive pride flag iconography. You would openly market it all to children, even if it wasn't age appropriate. You would overtly sexualize literally every aspect of it. So to be a conservative, to wade in on the right side of things, what would you do? Play it off as patriotic? Like, I don't even know. Like, what would you possibly do if you were to come in and say, hi, we're gonna take the culture war head on and we're gonna be on the right side of things? And here we are talking about freedom of speech and supporting differing opinions. Yeah, a really terrible stance to take, that one. But hey, man, if you're just going to be apolitical, by the simple nature of doing that, you'll automatically be branded as a 1940s Germany enthusiast for the simple virtue of not capitulating to woke politics. Businesses are taking a stand on hot-button issues in an effort to appeal to its younger consumers, but as U.S. beer brewer Anheuser-Busch will attest, this has landed them in hot water in the process. UK government's second highest-ranking Treasury official is now warning companies to steer clear from woke politics lest they wind up in the crossfire of the culture wars right next to Bud Light's parent company. It lost nearly $400 million. Yes, just a few $1 million under it, 395, 396 sold, something like that, in sales last quarter, and that was just domestically, but their market cap in general, $40 billion down. Not great. Last quarter, yes, following the promotion of its once popular lager held by transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney in April, who's doing great, attending Taylor Swift concerts in luxury boxes. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Who are you getting paid for now? All saying that, oh my God, I don't feel safe. So is that why you just needed the additional security, so that you needed to have a skybox? Interesting situation, but we've seen what can happen in recent months. Think of the United States beer brand when consumers reacted rather differently than was anticipated, said John Glenn, Chief Secretary of the Treasury, in an interview with a liberal conservative think tank. Sorry, what? Okay. Bright Blue published earlier this week. Glenn argued that the majority of the country wants business to simply provide good value for money. Wow, imagine that. I think this is a very prescient situation where we have somebody that works for government actually making a salient point. Weird situation we find ourselves in, but that's always what you get when you have one of these Bud Light tinged situations. You never know what you're gonna find, but companies and now governments are starting to figure out that, hey, if we want to make money, maybe pandering to something that doesn't even equate to a double percentage of the population, maybe that's not exactly the best way to do things. But my ESG score, shut the fuck up. It was all a scam. It was always going to be a scam, and you were a dork if you thought that was, oh, those are the puppet masters. They're pulling the strings over the top, you fucking dorks. It was always as simple as trying to chase dollars, thinking that you can feminize your product because women control 80% of the purse strings and 75% of the debt. Imagine the other way around, 75%, whatever, regardless. An overwhelming majority of the dollars are controlled by women. Therefore, they think that by overrepresenting their inclusion and taking over the normally male-dominated spaces that women enjoyed at the same time would somehow make them more likely to spend money on it, or just also trying to feminize places that women have zero interest in, like the beer sector. That just ultimately didn't end up working. But no, my deep state, my BlackRock, and all that crap. So yeah, people are starting to notice, and starting very slowly, and this is obviously going to take time. We're not through it all yet, but companies are starting to correct course. But you know who isn't heeding that warning? That'll be Disney, because of course, Disney's going to be the last one. They are the lumbering dinosaur that's out there that's got all of its rainbow coloration, all of its pride marketing, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, because that's where all the lunatics are staffed, in that fucking castle. You know it as well as I do. Disney partners with gender fluid man to promote Minnie Mouse girls clothing. Let's get dressed. Yeah, that's not gonna end well for you. Walt Disney Company partnered with a man who identifies as gender fluid to promote women's apparel in its Disney style TikTok channel with over 260,000 followers. I'm not even gonna begin to know how TikTok works, and nor do I really care, but that's a lot of followers for a very niche aspect. No, whatever. Seann Altman, well, at least the surname's appropriate, who was an alleged transgender influencer but is a man. Can you just say a very confused dude? Can we just go with that? Appears in a promotional TikTok video for Disney Style. The channel focuses on promoting Disney-inspired makeup and outfit tutorials, DIY projects, and all things Disney art and fashion. There's also a YouTube channel of the same name with over 530,000 subscribers. Why didn't you want to go with that to begin with? That's far more impressive. As reported by Breitbart, Altman believes he is gender fluid. You got to get that checked when you take your car in for an oil change. You take a look at that gender fluid. Oh, it's leaking everywhere. Looks like you got daddy issues. And promoted a Minnie Mouse themed clothing set with a red dress, yellow pumps, and red hair bow. God, I want to die. Altman showed himself getting dressed and applying makeup to over 717,000 subscribers on his own page, or her own page, or that's own page. Don't want to be a bigot now, do I? Oh, where the video was posted also garnered 865,000 views. Fucking Christ. Minnie is me. I fit right in Minnie and Mickey, I fit right in with Mickey and his friends. Altman wrote in the caption, God, I just want to die when I see stuff like this. I literally look like Minnie Mouse. No, you look like, oh my God, that's what, I don't necessarily think that Minnie Mouse looks like, oh my God, like I understand that there's only so much of that I can take. There's been redesigns over the years, but I don't think being a mentally deficient, slightly vaguely Hispanic cross-dressing enthusiast, yeah, I'm not going to subject anybody else to the rest of that stuff. That is just fucking crazy. Altman routinely boasts about his father's participation in his modeling of women's clothing. Oh my God, what the fuck? The pinned post on Altman's Twitter page shows his father photographing him, oh my God, while affixing a toe trigger for a job well done, in a dress covered in rose petals for Valentine's Day. What a fucking failure as a father. But that's alright. That's just, hey, it's one of many sensible things that Disney has been doing. Sensible in their interpretation of the world. And, well, how is it working out for them? Because we've seen, thanks Blaze, I wasn't going to sign up for your shit anyways, and now you just gave me even more incentive, so to never return to your fucking page for just putting the pop-ups. But like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by that fucking Mormon, quarterly reports are coming out for the second quarter, and we've seen recently, you know, you had Anheuser-Busch trying to diminish their failures and say, oh, we beat some expectations, I guess, sort of. There were more people on the moon that were more apt to buy our products than we anticipated. Fantastic stuff. You go ahead and promote that. But then, yeah, you had Molson Labatt just, you know, overwhelmingly succeed and exceed their expectations. But what about Disney? Since we're talking about Disney, they just decided to release their quarterly numbers, and, well, Disney raises streaming prices by as much as 27% after posting a rare loss of $460 million. Oof. Well, hey man, at least Anheuser-Busch didn't have the worst quarter. That goes to Disney. In the second quarter, his visits to Walt Disney World slow down amid a battle with, stupid Ron DeSantis. The only thing that he's winning right now is slightly against the mouse. Good job, Ron. You win. This is hilarious. At Disney Plus, streaming gimmick, oh my god, it's just limping along, man. Like, that shit is hemorrhaging money. And now they're going to be raising prices on people that are fleeing the platform. That's hilarious. It's the exact same way that ended up killing Detroit. You started raising taxes on everybody, and then they just kept fleeing the once prosperous city. Nobody paid attention to history over at Disney. Well, you pay attention to it so much as that you can figure out different topics that you can pillage and do terrible live action remakes of. Well, Disney is raising the prices of its streaming service Disney Plus and Hulu. Right, because they were forced to buy that, and oh my god, that's just a big disaster in and of itself. By as much as 27% after the series of woke film remakes disappointed at the box office. No, guys, Variety just reported that the Elemental Pixar film it just made $400 million. That's great, even though that's the break-even point. Break-even point! A Disney Pixar film, and you're touting that as being an overwhelming success. It fucking failed. It had a historically bad, it was the worst performing, not even adjusting for inflation, worst performing opening in history. And you're saying, well, it's been in theaters long enough, and now it's made over $400 million worldwide. Congratulations. What a rebound. A rebound of the century. Break even at best. Fucking dorks. Anyways, customers with Disney Plus will see their monthly costs of the ad-free service rise by 27% from $11 to $14. I don't have a fucking streaming service to my name. The only thing that I pay for is YouTube Premium because it's pretty good fucking value if we're going to keep it a buck. Hulu prices for ad-free will rise by 20% to $18 a month? Holy fuck. Remember when streaming came out and it was supposed to be the alternative to cable? You tie both of those together, okay, and there you have $32 for just 2 streaming services, when old cable bills, when people were getting pissed off by that, was what, like $100 a month or something like that? Like, I don't know. I don't have cable. I don't have streaming services or that, like, anything like that. If I want to be entertained, I go on YouTube, because some of the best stuff in the world and some of the worst shit imaginable is on YouTube. It's on Rumble, and that's the shit that I enjoy. But anyways, back to this. The lowest priced plans, Disney Plus and Hulu with ads, they even have an ad tier, will remain at $8 a month. Oh, okay, cool. So you can go ahead and get a service where you can pay to be shown ads? What the fuck? I remember when Netflix came out and it was $10 a month, but that was a long fucking time ago. Disney's results for the third quarter, released on Wednesday, were mixed. You don't say. They exceeded Wall Street's estimates on adjusted per-share earnings. How many fucking asterisks do you need on that one? And the company said to be on track to cut costs by more than $5.5 billion it promised investors in February. Yeah, we overperformed because we cut more jobs than we actually needed to. But the company missed Wall Street targets. Oh shit, this is where it gets bad. For revenue, and fell slightly behind expectations on U.S. subscribers for Disney Plus. Because, yeah, there's charts below this, and it's not good. It's really not good. Though it has significantly trimmed its losses. Chief Executive Bob Iger, who returned from a retirement, self-imposed retirement, just to set the fall guy up. It's like, okay, I set up all of these woke dominoes, and on my way out of the... I'll just go ahead and kick them off. You can take the fall for that, and then I'll just come in, just riding my white steed to be the savior for the company. Sounds great. We'll give you a nice cushy golden parachute on the way out there, Bob. Fuck, he did Disney such a solid where they barely had to change any of the marquees for the CEO position because they hired a Bob after a Bob retired, and then a Bob came in to save the day. Well, spoiler, he's not really saving anything. Faces formidable challenges for nearly all fronts of the entertainment empire beyond Wall Street's mandate to make its streaming business profitable. Which, I don't know, one of the first big streaming endeavors was WWE. Actually, the Fed put out their streaming service all the way back in 2014. Yeah, 2014, and it was in the red for a long time. And then finally, just a couple of years before they sold out to Peacock, they were finally turning a profit. Like, that shit takes a long time. Again, if you want to understand why the entertainment industry is in the way that it's in, you could just go take a look at what's been happening with wrestling for a long time. And it's basically a one-to-one comparison. But yeah, it's coping with the eroding television business and movie box office. That's so funny because television rights for different shows have been more profitable than ever. But and movie box office that has yet to return to pre-COVID levels. That's just not the case anymore. I think stupid ass Barbie, Super Mario Brothers, Avatar. It's just the company's not as hot as it used to be. The company is also bruised from a series of woke flops at the box office. Yeah, you don't say. Your products are fucking dog shit. Now you're having to pay the piper. So yeah, we'll see if Disney ultimately ends up learning from their mistakes. But hey man, if the recent history is anything to go on, they'll take a look at all of the big successes that are in the box office right now. They'll take a look at Barbie and go, yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah, we got perfect idea for that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll reboot Minnie Mouse, and we got the perfect guy to play him, because that's what was hot in Barbie. All the feminist messaging. You fucking idiots. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.